Thank you, Chairman. I'm very concerned that, as introduced, this new private panel does not include one of the largest users of U.S. airspace, which is the Defense Department. I'd like to hear from any of the witnesses their views about how privatizing air traffic control could impact the coordination that currently takes place and what the impact would be for our national security. Okay, next question. I'm interested to hear, I actually introduced a bill. I'm reintroducing a bill. Curious about your views on the addition of a physical barricade outside the cockpit. I've heard proponents point out this measure could be effective and not especially expensive, but I've also heard objections. I'm planning to offer an amendment to add a secondary barrier to all U.S. passenger carriers manufactured going forward. What are your thoughts? Is it an inconvenience? Security concern? Yeah.
Mr.
Yes.
Congressman, FAA actually issued standards for a secondary barrier, and so it is available for designers to design against and for operators to request to have that installed. So it can be done. I do think there are some real questions about the location of it, depending on the configuration of the aircraft and the aircraft exits. And obviously, we would want to assure that it doesn't interfere with any emergency egress that would affect passenger safety in some way. But the standards do exist, and a designer can design to those standards, and an operator could, in fact, request that.
I'd like to just share our
Yes,
thoughts
sir.
on that. And again, I applaud the words that were in the FAA reauthorization bill, but I caution you about putting prescriptive requirements in there like a secondary barrier.
Okay.
I think we should step back and really look at what are we trying to achieve. You want to keep the bad people off the airplanes first. You know, make sure TSA has strong procedures, keep them off the airplane. Secondly, I think you have to look at what we've done already. There are Part 121 regulations that govern the airlines on how to, when a pilot comes out of the flight deck, and those are quite effective today. I've been on flights where I've been asked as an able-bodied passenger to assist in case of an emergency.
Absolutely.
And I've been willing to do that. Third, you have to look at the secure flight deck door that we instituted after 2001. It's been extremely effective. So I think the risk has decreased significantly between what TSA has done, what the Part 121 rules govern, and the flight deck door. As Ms. Gilligan said, we have had airlines request a secondary barrier, and they have actually put it on and then taken it off because they found that the options through Part 121 give them a little bit more flexibility and more efficiency in how to control the security of the airplane.
All right. Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.